Okay, good morning class. Good afternoon class. So today we're looking at analytical geometry. I'm just going to refresh your memory in terms of what was done last year. So last year we introduced analytical geometry. At this point we knew, or we gave you 3 formulas. So we showed you where the formulas come from. The first of it being the distance formula, and then the midpoint of a line segment, the midpoint formula, and the gradient of the line. Okay, so the distance formula was, distance is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Then the midpoint formula is given as x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. And of course the gradient of a line segment is y2 minus y1 over h2 minus h1. Okay, those formulas we're exposed to. What else do we know? We know if lines are parallel, gradients are equal. If lines are perpendicular, product of the two gradients is -1. And the third one is, if points are collinear, gradients are equal. Collinear means to say it lies on the same line. So if it lies on the same line, of course the what's name will be equal. Because it's the same gradient, it's the same line. So therefore it has to be equal. People looking at example 1. Example 1 is on page. Sorry? Page 80. 81. Okay. So here we are told that if P is 4 and 8, O, which is the center or the origin, 0 and 0, and R is of course -4 and 4. So you don't have to draw this, it just makes it a bit easier to visualize, to identify if something is making sense or not. Okay. So it's going to be 4 and 8. 4 and 8, and this is your P value. 0 and 0, which is your origin, and R, which is -4 and 4. Approximately there. Okay, of course that's a triangle there, 3, 4. On the vertex of triangle POR, prove that triangle POR is an isosceles triangle. People, what is an isosceles? We know triangles are isosceles. It's either when 2 sides are equal or 2 angles are equal. So because we got the coordinates, I can work out the length of the sides. Okay, so if we prove that 2 sides are equal automatically, it's an isosceles triangle. Not so. So let's work out the length of OP. So again, the formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. People, you're going to write this down so often that you're going to start memorizing. Is the formula given in your exam? No. So you need to memorize. Okay. So if I go with P, if I make this x1 and y1, then of course this will be x2 and y2. You all agree with that? So that will be the square root of x2, which is 0, minus 4 squared plus 0 minus 8 squared, which is 4 squared is 16, 8 squared is 64, which is the answer of 80. So I think it's going to be 4 root something, 4 root 2. No, not 4 root 2, 4 root 5. Okay, let's just check. Instead of guessing and working out to our head, 4 root 5. Okay, so that is the root of 80, which is 4 root 5. You will also tend to write your answer in simplified third form. You would say simplified third form, this is what it means. Okay, Anita, please look here, my girl. I don't want to tell me later on, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, then RO. Let's go with RO. RO, same story. Do I have to write the formula down again? No, one is suffice. Okay. So if I go with RO, if this is x2, y2, then this will be x1, y1. For these two now. Not so. So let's go. So this will be 0 minus 4 becomes plus 4 squared plus 0 minus 4 squared, which is 16 plus 16 is 32, which is the root of 32, going to give you 4 root 2. People, are these two equal? No, that is 4 root 2. Odd owner, I'm going marking the wrong one. 4 root 2. Okay, so of course we're going to calculate the length of, sorry, the length of RP. Do I have to write the formula down again? No. So if I make this now x2 y2 and x1 y1, or vice versa, doesn't matter. So that will be 4 minus 4 becomes plus 4 squared plus 8 minus 4 squared. And that is going to give you 16 squared, which is 8 squared, sorry, 64. And 16 is going to give you root 80, which is 4 root 5. What do you notice? Those two are the same. So in conclusion, I say since, state the obvious, since PO is equal to RP, which is equal to 4 root 5. Therefore, triangle PRO is an isosceles triangle Y. Two sides equal. Two lengths are equal. Yes, my girl.
So
If you calculated and you went that one and this one, and you somehow got it, you get full marks. You don't have. Do you have to calculate this yet? No. Unless the question was to prove that it's an isosceles triangle and disprove that it's an equilateral triangle. But equilateral triangles are also special isosceles triangles. You see, the isosceles triangles, the minimum is that it has to have two sides that's equal. Equilateral is more than that. Likewise, if you look at a square, for argument's sake, all squares are parallelograms. Not so. Why? Because it satisfies all 4 properties of a parallelogram. Can you see that? But it's all parallelogram squares. No. So it doesn't identify, or it doesn't satisfy all the properties of a square on the other hand. Can you see that? So yes, as I said, if the question was for a isosceles triangle, that would have been suffice, and you'd have stopped there and gone with your conclusion. Okay. Right, let's go with number 2. Example 2. Example 2 is on page. Same page. So in example 2 we are told in triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is a right angle at B. Angle A, which is negative 3 and 9, B, which is 5 and 3, and C, which is negative 1 and negative 5. Sorry, all the vertices. Sorry about that. Determine the area of triangle ABC using analytical methods. People when talking about analytical methods, what are they meaning? They're meaning to say you must use distance formula, midpoint formula, and gradient formula. For the fact that if lines are parallel, gradients are equal. Or if lines are perpendicular, the product of two gradients is negative 1. And if points are collinear, gradients are equal. So whenever they use analytical methods, that is basically what they mean. Right. Verstaan julle? Alright. So hier gaat ons. Right, here we go. Let's move that up there. Let's move this over. We know you must calculate the area, okay? So how do you calculate the area of a right angle triangle? Half base times height. So in other words, the area of this triangle is going to be a half. What's the length of the base? And the base is going to be CB times the height, which is AB. Remember, it's on either side of the 90 degree. One base, one height. Or if that's your base, then this is your perpendicular height. It doesn't matter. But never would that be your perpendicular height to your base. Okay? Unless it's going that way. And there's 90. Then that is your base, and then that is your height. Can you see that, people? But you should do it at 90. Where the 90 lies. Okay? So how do we calculate the length of CB? Distance formula. Not so. So let's go. CB is the distance formula. What's the distance formula? Let's see if you guys remember. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So CB, if you made this x1, y1, this would be x2, y2. If I'm you people, I would make it the habit of writing the coordinates on the side here. Okay? I'm not going to do it because I don't want it to be so much information on it. Okay? So let's go. If it's x2, it's negative 1 minus 5 squared plus minus 5 minus 3 squared. Okay. So what do we get? We put that in the calculator. So that will be 6 is 36 and 8 is 64. You add to get 100, I think. Okay, let's just check. Which is going to then give me 10. The answer of 10 then. That's 10. Can I assume that AB is also 10? No. Okay. So let's go here. x1, y1, x2, y2. So now we're going to work out AB. Square root of. Do I need a formula again? No? So I say x2, which is 5 minus 3 becomes plus 3 squared plus 3 minus 9 squared. So that's simply going to give us square root. That's going to give us 64 and 6 30. Also 10. That just took a wild guess earlier. Plus negative 6 squared. You 10. People, do we have enough information now to calculate the area? Yes. Okay, so it will simply be half times 10 times 10. So that 10 times is 100, half of that is 50 units. Okay. Yes. See any confusion there? Let's go to example 3. Is there still examples for exercise 4.1? Yes. Right. So the second part in is then we're going to work out to calculate the midpoint. Alright. The question says, let's again example 1, which is on page. Sorry? We'll call this for our purposes example 3 on page 82. Okay, let's call it what it is. Page 82. Okay, so this is the first of the midpoint formula. The question says, calculate the coordinates of M, the midpoint of line segment joining the point P, which is negative 3 and 8, and Q, which is 9 and 1. People, if this is the midpoint, what's the midpoint formula? What's the formula we use? The midpoint is going to be x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. Not so. Okay. If that's x1, y1, this will be x2, y2. So what do I get here? Now m is for the midpoint. X1 is negative 3 plus 9 over 2 and 8 plus 1, which simply gives us, what's negative 3 plus 9? 6, and 6 over 2 is 3, and 8 plus 1 is 9. We'll give you 9 over 2 or 4 and a half or 4.5. Okay. Okay. Did you get example 2 on the midpoint? Right. So here we are told, now we are given the midpoint. Can you see that, people? We are now given the midpoint. So if this is x1, y1, x2, y2, this would be x mid, y mid. Can you see that, people? So what's my formula? The formula is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. Not so. But when I work this out, I actually land up with the x midpoint and the y midpoint. Not so. You all agree with that? Yes. So coming from there, I'm then going to derive that x1 plus x2 over 2 must be equal to the x value of that midpoint. So that plus that over 2 will normally give me this. Not so. I'm just writing that out in formula. y1 plus y2 over 2 is going to give us equal to y mid. You all see that? So what is x1? Negative 3 plus x2, xp or x2 or just x. Not so. Over 2 is equal to the x value of the midpoint, which is what? 7. You guys understand? So how do I solve for x here? Cross multiply. Negative 3 times negative 3 plus x times 1. Negative 3 plus x. What's 7 times 2? 40. Take a 3 over the equal sign, so x is equal to 70. Okay. Let's do it on the other side now. Let's go here. Y1 is what? 6 plus y2. Yp or y2, it's all the same. Eh? Over 2 is equal to y mid, which is negative 4. And actually the server 1, not so. Again, I cross multiply. 6 plus y times 1 is 6 plus 1. What's 2 times negative 4? So y is equal to, take it over the equal sign. Negative 8 minus 6. Negative 40. Have I answered the question? Question says determine the coordinates of P. So therefore, P is 17 and negative 40. Any confusion there? Not yet? Let's go with the third one. Example 3. Was the B part of the question? Oh, that belongs to the next one. I'm going to pause this quickly and we'll cut the next part. The diagram, okay? Okay. Example 3. Example 3, we are told that P, which is negative 4.7, Q, which is 4.5, R, which is 0 and negative 1, S, which is Sx and Yx, Ys and Ss, Xs, are vertices of parallelogram. People, if this is a parallelogram, we know all properties are now evident in the parallelogram. Okay, there are 4 of them. Opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are equal. And the angles bisect each other. And by diagonals bisect each other. Those are the 4 properties. of parallelogram PQR is? M is the midpoint. So I can work out this midpoint here, no? Considering I got those 2 points. Of the diagonals PQR. This is example 3 on page 82. No?
83.
83. Okay. So the first question says, if M is the midpoint, if M is also the midpoint of QS, M is also the midpoint of QS, determine the coordinates of S. Now that is B's part of the question. Let's go to A first. Question A says, determine the coordinates of M if M is the midpoint of PR. So how do you work out the midpoint? Midpoint formula, not so, which is x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. This is the for M. Not so. If I make that x1, y1, this will of course be x2, y2. Let's go. So it's going to be minus 4 plus 0 over 2 and 7 plus minus 1 over 2. Not so. So that's going to give me M. Negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. 7 minus 1 is 6 over 2, which is 3. You all agree with that? So M's coordinate is negative 2 and 3. You all agree with that? So now the question says, if M is also the midpoint of QS, determine the coordinates of S. Alright, so M, you could have written this in to be negative 2 and 3. Now they want you to work out the coordinates of S. Okay. So what do we know? We know that x1 plus x2 over 2 is going to give us the x coordinate of the midpoint. That's all. You all agree with that? Also on the other end, if you got y1 plus y2 over 2 will be the y value of the coordinate of the midpoint. You all agree with that? So in other words, if this is x1, y1, this would be x2, y2, and this would be x mid, y mid. You all understand? So what's the value for x1? 4. So it will be 4 plus x or x2 or x s, doesn't matter, over 2 is equal to negative 2. Right, and then y1, which is 5 plus y over 2, it's going to give us 3. So from here, it's just a matter of solving for x and y. So naturally, this is over 1. Cross multiply. So 2 times negative 2, negative 4 is equal to 4 plus x times 1. 4 plus x. You get over the equal sign, so it's negative 4 minus 4, which is negative 6. 8. The other side is naturally over 1, not so. Cross multiply again. So 5 plus y times 1. 5 plus y. What's 2 times 3? 6. We get over the equal sign, so y is equal to 1. But have we answered the question? What's the question? To give the coordinates of S. So therefore, what is the coordinates of S? Negative 8 and negative 8 and 1. Okay, so any confusion there, people? So, you guys went home and you had to do exercise 4.1, correct? Was there any problems with that exercise? Sorry? No problems. Did you do it? Okay, so no problems so far. So for homework, I would like you guys to conclude exercise 4.1. So whichever sums you haven't done for exercise 4.1, please complete that for tomorrow. But because you are writing, I'm not going to give you something new for tomorrow, okay? So you just complete that for homework, and then we'll do the examples for exercise 4.2 the next time I see you, okay? The full lesson can be found in the description box below.